Welcome to the SAP Business One Purchasing System Demonstration. Purchase planning is a big part of any organization. If you plan and conduct your purchases effectively and efficiently without overstocking or understocking, you can save the company a lot of money while meeting your budget. With SAP Business One Blanket Agreement, you can plan your purchases for the entire year, including delivery schedule, and set prices with your vendor, and then you are able to keep track on fulfillment level at any point in time. For purchase of new items, use the Purchase Quotation Wizard tool, which allows you to send multiple quotations to your vendors, requesting proposals for quantities, prices, and delivery dates, and based on their replies, select the proposal that best fits your needs. You are the purchasing manager at OEC Computers, which is a reseller of hardware supplies of different brands. You made an arrangement with your printer vendor, committing to purchase a minimum quantity of printers until the rest of the year, with special prices. Throughout the year, you need the ability to track your purchases and the fulfillment level of the agreement. You start by opening the blanket agreement document under Purchasing. Here you identify the vendor, the start and end date of the agreement, and provide a description. On the Details tab, you choose the items to be included. In this case, we have a few printers with specific prices and quantities. Here you define the suggested delivery schedule, including frequency, warehouse, and quantities. You can see that row number 4 was fully fulfilled since the open quantity is 0. Once the blanket agreement is in place, all you have to do is place orders with the vendor, and the system makes the link to the agreement for tracking purposes. Let's open a purchase order for this vendor. We're going to select the vendor and select the first item in the list. You can immediately see there is a blanket agreement in place with a drill down arrow to open the actual agreement. Save the PO and go back to it. Next, we're going to create a goods receipt PO. In SAP Business One, you base one document on top of the other. So you simply choose the Copy To button to Goods Receipt PO, and all the information is copied over. Now we save the Goods Receipt PO. Finally, you have received the bill from your vendor, so you're ready to post the AP invoice. We repeat the same operation by copying the Goods Receipt PO to an AP invoice. We click Copy To AP Invoice. You may notice that many of the documents in SAP Business One have the same structure and are based on each other. This saves time and money in learning to operate the application while lowering your total cost of ownership. We're going to save the AP invoice into the system. If you open the last AP invoice and choose to view the relationship map, you can clearly see in a graphical way the flow of documents you just created, starting from the PO to the goods receipt PO and to the AP invoice. The invoice appears with a red line indicating it hasn't been paid yet. Once it is paid, the payment document will join the graphics together with any returns, credits, or additional deliveries. To check the status of your blanket agreement, you open the Blanket Agreement Fulfillment Report. Here you can see by each line item the open quantity, amounts, and whether the row was fulfilled. In the next scenario, you received an internal purchase request from one of the employees for a new computer monitor. The request was approved budget-wise, so you go through with requesting proposals for monitors from your existing vendors. You start by looking at the purchase request document. This document is intended for employees of the company to submit purchase requests based on their needs. They can enter the item information, required date, quantity, and ask to receive an email once the item has arrived. Next, you open the Purchase Quotation Generation wizard to continue the process. You provide the name. Here we select the option to base it on purchase requests. Then we can filter the purchase request that will be included. In this case, we filter it by the item code, which is the new monitor requested. In the next step, you can see the internal purchase request you have received. You can drill down to it to see the actual document to learn some more information. Going back to the wizard, you need to enter date information. The required date would be 5 days from today. However, the offer is only valid in the next 3 days. In the next step, we see the system's recommendation to create multiple purchase quotations for different vendors. These are all preferred vendors for the monitor as they are defined in the item master data. As you execute the wizard, you have the option to create an online quotation. This will send an outgoing email to each vendor with a link to the request for quotation. Once the vendor updates the link with his proposal for delivery dates and prices, it is updated automatically in your SAP Business One system, saving you and your vendor time and money. Here you can see the quotations that were created. If we open up one of them, we can see it's still blank since the vendor hasn't responded yet. Some vendors may decide to use the link in the email sent from SAP Business One, and some may use a different method of sending their offers. The system allows you to update each quotation in a different way, whether it's manual or automatic. Let's go ahead and update this purchase quotation manually with a quoted date and quantity as well as a price. In this case, the vendor provides me with the full quantity. In this case, it is 1 on the date I required it. Once you're ready to place an order to your vendor, you can use the Purchase Quotation Comparison Report to check the status of your purchase quotations and compare the offers you received from each vendor. We select the item and take a look at the report. This vendor offered a better price, however, a late delivery.
The other two offer delivery on time, only with a higher price. As the purchasing manager, you can make an effective decision based on your business needs. In this case, you want the monitor on time, even though the price is not the cheapest, but not the highest either. So you choose row 5 and create a purchase order. At this point, you can close all other purchase requests and continue with creating the purchase order. With SAP Business One, you can automatically generate an email, a PDF, or print any document once it's added to the system. You would like to send the last purchase order you just created by email to your vendor. We click on the email and say yes. The system pulls the contact information of your vendor directly from the purchase order. You can also see that you have some predefined text that you define ahead of time in the system configuration, where you can identify by document type which text will be added automatically when you send a certain document by email. On the Data tab, you can see a link to the purchase order itself. And on the Attachment tab, you will see the attachment included, which is the PDF file of the printed form of the purchase order. As the purchasing manager, you also would like to take a quick look at the status of your open purchase quotations using the purchase quotation dashboard in the Business One cockpit. Here you can identify the date, where purchase quotation later than this valid date would not show up in the report. And the scope of the report would include all purchase quotations divided by the one that has been responded, had a partial or no response at all, and ones that are overdue. You can go ahead and click on the overdue piece of the pie to see exactly which purchase quotations are included in this area. You can open the actual purchase quotation and take action from there. You can take a look at the responded one. Perhaps those are waiting to be converted into a purchase order. So you can do the same here. You want to check on the status of the monitor you ordered. For this, you can use the Enterprise Search feature. The feature allows you to enter any text, and the system looks for this text in every transaction or master data in the database. We enter the monitor item code. You receive many results, including this item code. You would like to narrow it down to goods receipts PO only because you're interested in learning whether the items was received or not. You did find one goods receipt PO, which means the monitor has arrived to the warehouse. From here, we can open the goods receipt PO and the relationship map to take a look at the purchasing flow, starting from the purchase request to the multiple purchase quotations, to the purchase order, and to the goods receipt PO. In this demonstration, you have witnessed how to effectively manage your purchases in the company. We started with the blanket agreement and the creation of all purchasing documents following it. In the second scenario, we've seen how SAP Business One can automate purchasing processes by using the purchase quotation wizard to create multiple documents while generating an email to your vendor for immediate updates. Finally, we utilize some of the analytical tools in SAP Business One that includes the built-in reports, dashboards, and the enterprise search. Thank you for your time.